Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit those thumbs up and write down there in the comments any questions or any information you have about the video. Um, Today we're working on my 2005 Audi A6. A viewer asked me if I knew how to change the light bulb, that the puddle lights, that's what they're technically called, mirror, side mirror, wing mirror, puddle lights. Can I call them wings? They're not on the fender. But they're side mirror puddle lights. They got little lights that come up on the bottom, not just on your door. For those models equipped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I would go about doing this. This is how I would normally, because I'm always ripping cars apart at work. So first things first, select the mirror you're going to be working on. Oh, very first thing first, add some juice to the machine. Select the mirror you're working on and turn it all the way to the side. As you'll see, it starts to move. Bring it to the furthest in as you can. You'll see why in a moment. So I'm gonna wipe it down. I'm gonna clean my area up, squeeze in between the work truck and the mirror. But it's no big deal. You don't need a lot of room. So let me get outside. Okay, it is starting to rain. I am back in Florida, folks, so it's gonna keep raining. Once it starts, it starts. It's that time of year. We're in April, so you know, spring flowers. Well, spring showers bring May flowers or something like that. I forgot what it was called. Anyway, I'm wiping it dry, and what you really want to do is, like I said, you turn it all the way in, okay, and then you're gonna want to grab this inside edge here and just pull carefully. I can hear it cracking and everything. I don't even care if this one breaks really, but oh, there we go. There we go. Not a big deal. If that makes you nervous, then that was just a piece of sticker, nothing broken. Okay. Yeah, that's how they're designed. You see this yellowing and the delamination? That's what that is, delamination. I've seen it across all vehicles, all types of vehicles. The self-dimming, the liquid inside there, something happens, and then that's what it is. You'll see them on every car from whatever's got the self-dimming. You'll see one of the mirrors always fail. And the thing is, I bought the car, it was nice and clear, and it just sitting around, and that's what it does. But anyway, we've got the mirror detached, and it appears somebody's been in this, because there's supposed to be some screws holding it, but they're not. All right, that's the plug to our lights, which are right here. I don't know if you guys can get a good shot of it, but that's the light. It lights up the puddles or anything in your walkway. When you hit the remote, you can program it on your MMI. That's the plug for the motor, and that's the plug for the light. So it looks like once you unplug these two, and that's my self-dimming, that's the heated, these are the heated connections, and I believe that's the self-dimming. That's an easy clip to undo also. So let me undo these things, and oh, when you unplug these, try to remember which one goes where. They are colored. They should be colored. This one's got blue and black. This one's got red and black. So the red on the left, the blue on the right. So once you undo those, undo this plug. You got a couple screws in the bottom. If I remember, there should be some screws holding this, because you can see where the mirror is, but it doesn't look like, I don't know. Funnier things, I've seen some funny things with cars, but yeah, let me get to unplugging all this, and we'll get to it. Okay, I've got it all unplugged. Remember the way your wires were. The red stripe was on the left and the blue stripe was on the right, and this is your self-dimming mechanism. You'll notice that the clip goes up into it. So you're going to need to separate these two tabs, one on each end of the retainer there, one here, one there. just separate them a little bit and pull the unit, and the whole thing will come out. You'll see no cracks, no nothing, just the delamination. So let me look this thing over. There's a couple screws at the bottom, I know for sure. Hopefully they're there. Yeah. All right, so let me get my tools together to get them screws out, and we'll get to you then. Okay, I got the 2 screws from at the bottom. They appear to be Phillips brand or Star type, or I don't know what to call them anymore, man. You know what I mean? Because Phillips is a tool, is a manufacturer, not a tool. So, like I said, if you have the other screws in there, you know, just pay attention for those and get those 2 on the bottom. The ones that should be right here on mine, like I said, they were the Phillips. There was one on either side of the light, and I believe you should just be able to lift this up, and it should come apart. It may take some manipulation with both my hands, so let me separate that real quick. You know, I still got screws in hand and stuff, so let me manipulate this both hands and we'll get to the next step. Okay, hopefully you got to this point and didn't just start ripping things apart all silly like I would. If you notice inside the mirror, don't mind the cobwebs. It's an outside vehicle. We didn't train them well. So you just pull away this little tab and you push down the edge, and you see that little gap right there. If you had 2 hands, you'd be able to reach over and grab that. So with the other hand, you know, you just reach over, grab it. There should be another one within this range. So once you got one corner started, just pry it down a little bit and you'll have access to the other tab with a small flathead, and you'll be able to boop, pop it out. I'll show you what I mean when I undo this one. I'll push this tab. See, I'm pushing this corner in, and I should be able to see, yeah, see where it binds up right there? If I had both my hands, I would stick the flathead in that area, and this whole unit would just slide out. I'll show you that when I get to it. Okay, this is the point I was telling you guys. You see the retainers there, and if you pull down just a little bit, you'll be able to see the one right there in the middle. You push it in with the flathead with your tool. You just push that tab in, and you pull down a little more and pull out towards you, and this whole assembly will be right there in your hands. So let me undo those clips and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I've got it all separated. I like to wipe up the water as I'm going. Now that you've got the unit all taken down, you can actually see how it goes in the vehicle. It's gonna go in this collar in first. You see it's nothing spectacular that locks into the front. Those are just more for guiding. But those are those 2 rear tabs I was talking about. This is the one at the corner. The one you just pull forward and push down on the corner, and you keep tension on it until you get to this one, and you push that center one. Sometimes you can just by moving it, just by flexing it around, you can probably get that tab to release itself. But if you need to use a flathead, you can use a flathead, and that's it. It just pops right out. Now before you even install it, you can at least observe your area. I'm sorry, I just sat on my remote. You can observe where it actually lays, see where it clicks. But anyway, here's the wire for those lights. Now it looks like it's an LED setup, so if yours is faulty, you're gonna have to replace the unit. It's not an individual bulb that you need to replace, and it looks like it's held in by a hex head, a star. I'm gonna find the size for you so you guys know, and I'll show you when I take it apart. Okay, according to my little toolkit here, it says it's a T10, the tooth, you know, the star bit type. You just put it into there, lefty loosey, righty tighty. It's pretty much the norm. Let me take this out. Let me inspect it. So, like I said, it was a viewer's question, and I just felt obligated to answer. This one's a pretty easy one. So, but anybody looking to replace these, I would definitely recommend OEM. But there are some companies with some decent aftermarket stuff out there. Unless they send me money, I can't send you guys the websites, you know what I mean? So I can't promote somebody unless I get hooked up somehow. It doesn't have to be cha-ching, but you know what I mean? Maybe I need some parts. But there are a couple companies. I don't know where you are in the world. Just search them out. They're called the mirror puddle lights. But let me take this bad boy apart so I can show you more of what it looks like. I didn't even tried unplugging it yet, so let me unplug it. See what are you gonna do to unplug it? So, and then I'll disassemble it. Okay, completely taken apart. Here's the light. If this was to fail, you can see it's a group of LEDs, triple LEDs, and the plug is dummy proof, which is why I recommend OEM replacement, because you don't know if the aftermarket's going to wire right up. You understand? So you can see just by the harness, you got one prong going one way, you got one prong going another way. Okay, it only plugs in one way. Some aftermarkets don't accommodate for that. So that's why I say go to the dealer. They might be pricier, but if they lasted this long, mine's a 2005 and they still work. So if they go out now, that's a good deal, no matter what they cost, if you intend on keeping the vehicle. But yeah, that's about it. Now if you'll notice, if you're gonna remove it or replace it, it's got a little notch at one end of it that attaches to this end right here. Okay, it's already shaped that way. There's like a bevel to it. Like it's pretty dummy proof. Aside from having to take the lens out, the glass out to remove this panel just because of some clips, it's no big deal. It's not a huge job. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit before I put it back together. Clean all this stuff up. But so yeah, let me start cleaning it up and reassemble this thing.
I won't even fast forward.
All right, before I put everything together, I gotta tell you guys, these plugs are they were a little tight on there. You might need some needle nose or something. What I did is I stuffed my flathead on one end, because if you look at the end of the plug here, it's got little nubs that it would line up with this right here. But it was just jammed up a little bit. Use some needle nose to hold one end and pull it with the other hand. Same thing with these two here. They were a little tight. If your hands aren't strong enough, use a pair of needle nose or something, a pair of pliers, but don't be too aggressive, just as leverage. So yeah, let me finish assembling these. Okay, another quick tip. If it's giving you a hard time lining everything up, close the mirror slightly towards the inside of the vehicle, and this collar should just slide in real nice and easy, and then it just lines up and clicks in place. And once you have it all lined up, I don't have the front building tension just yet. There it is. Click, click. Nice and clicked in. You'll see the harness is still loose here, but there's a little box that it sits in. It was better not to attach it into the box while it was loose, because it becomes a pain. So once it's all together, you can just slide it back into its place. There you go. See, it sits in there. And now you reattach the wires to the lens. I'm not putting the screws in yet. I did put the screw in for that other piece, didn't I? Yes, I did. All right, I'm not putting the screws in on the bottom just yet until everything's put back together. So let me reattach these wires real quick. Okay, everything all wired up, even the self-dimming. If you remember, I told you that at each end of that plug there's little tabs. You just separate it slightly and you can pull the wire right out. Now here, this disc surrounds that disc inside of the mirror, but you'll also see that there's a flap here, and that goes inside here. That's how you'll know you're pretty much lined up, and then you can just click it in place once you have it all lined up. Now remember that your motor is turned. So try to put it into that angle, line it up with that tab, and then just snap. And that's it. Give it a couple good tugs. Nope, not going anywhere. So let me put those screws down at the bottom. Okay, now we're back in the Audi because the rain started coming, but it's all assembled, all works, everything functions as it should. Well, except for the dimming part because it's delaminated, but this side still works. It's not a big project, like about this much patience, not so much, just a little bit of patience, and you can get it. Just take your time when you're separating the black part from the painted part. Like I said, you review the video, you'll see the little tabs you got to pull on. Don't get too forceful, but forceful enough just to create the little seam that you can reach in and pop the second clip, and you just pull it out. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Like I said, that was a viewer who asked me about those lights. It was an awesome question when he asked, and I was like, oh wow, you know what, I've never replaced them on this. I've done Mercedes, I've done BMW ones, but I haven't done any Audis. I know how to rip apart the mirrors like nothing, but I haven't had to replace the bulb. So I want to thank you for suggesting it, and I want to thank all of you, every single one of you, for watching. Now, those of you who subscribed are the awesome ones. Those of you who are just viewing just to pass by, I appreciate the time, but please subscribe. If it was helpful for you, make it helpful for someone else. You know, hitting a thumbs up, hitting the subscriptions, passing it on. It's not about me, it's about the cars and the help. So all right, guys, as usual, share the love, have a good day, and be good to each other. Please be good to each other. Please. Peace out.